Ukraine was absolutely out of my thought, out of my life, out of my imagination until August 16th. My name is Fatema Husseini. I'm 28 and I am from Afghanistan. I was born in Bamiyan, where is the central place in Afghanistan. It's a central province in Afghanistan. And because of the war that happened in 1994, my parents migrated to Iran. So I was raised there. And when I was 10 years old, my parents returned to Afghanistan.
Меня зовут Iryna, я психолог. Я жила и работала в Киеве, в Украине. Я была в Индии, в Бахрейне, в Афганистане, Сирии, Ираке, Иране. Одной из задач моих было это проведение переговоров с террористами для того, чтобы совершался обмен пленными, для того, чтобы мы могли забрать тела погибших. Я видела войну в других странах, да. Сложно самым незащищенным. Те, кто не был подготовлен никогда к тому, что у людей не будет воды, еды, крова над головой, всего самого необходимого.
It was during a fine day. I woke up, I got ready, I went for my job. Around 1 p.m. that we heard the president fled the country. And Taliban are entering Kabul. I decided to get back home. It was too late for me because the Taliban were already in the city and they were riding police rangers cars and they were fully armed. But again, luckily, I was not stopped. Though they saw me like with my dress and everyone was looking at me crazily because there was not even a single woman. I mean, there were women, but they were already covered. The first thing that happened was my mom hugging me and slowly telling me in my ears that your dress is short. And that was the moment that, okay, I realized I lost my freedom. To be honest, I wasn't even thinking of myself. I was thinking of my father because he served the army for almost 12 years. And when I saw the video, it was like around thousands of people waiting to cross the border illegally to go to Pakistan. It was like it was so bad, it was so scary and horrible. When I saw my mom with that little baby, with my sister, I don't know, I did not have the guts or I did not have the bravery to tell my mom that, okay, this is the situation and you have to cross the border, no matter what. Because I was working with USA Today as a freelancer, one of the colleagues, he texted me from UK saying that, Fatema, are you safe? What should I do for you? He said, listen, are you able to leave the country without your family? It was a very tough decision for me because, you know, when you have this supportive family and the time comes that you have either the chance to save your life or all of you will be in danger, what would you choose? But at the same time, there was this, I don't know, there was this feeling coming to me that, okay, you have to leave, you have to be in a safe place in order to save your family. If you're in danger, your family will be in danger too, right?
I heard about Fatema when a reporter friend of mine called me up and said, hey, we have a journalist stuck in Afghanistan. And I had already been thinking of ways, how do we get people out of Afghanistan? Because another friend of mine, Jessica Serfin, she and I would run with Afghan women athletes for their protection when we were deployed out there with the Navy. And sadly, the Taliban went to one of the athletes' houses, beat them up, took their running sneakers, and then graffitied their house. And so we were thinking, how do we extract and protect our Afghan allies?
У меня был звонок человека, с которым я познакомилась в 2019 году. Мы вместе проходили обучение в школе НАТО. Он говорит, у меня друг застрял в Афганистане, девушка, журналист, она находится в большой опасности. Я говорю, хорошо, сбрось мне паспортные данные этой девочки, сбрось мне ее номер телефона, и я подумаю, как мы можем помочь, потому что я знала, что Украина уже организовывала эвакуационный рейс. В моей жизни есть очень много прекрасных, потрясающих, добрых и отзывчивых людей. Один из таких – это генерал Кирилл Богданов. Точно так же я ему отправила все данные, и мы начали общение. Я ей написала, меня зовут Ирина, я хочу помочь тебе эвакуироваться из Афганистана, просто следуй тем инструкциям, которые я тебе дам.
And I was like, okay, should I go to Ukraine? Like, where is Ukraine? I know it was somewhere in Europe, but I did not know where. And one of the Ukrainian army, he called me saying that I should get to the airport by 5:30 a.m. in the morning. And he told me that I have only 3 hours.
So we prepped Fatema ahead of time to make sure that she was hiding the documents in the appropriate places, making sure she had multiple cell phones, ensuring that there was a male driver with her to as far as we could get, right?
I was having my mom's hijab. It was my backpack, and I had 3 layers of clothes, and the weather was so hot. I kept sweating, and I forgot to get a water bottle with me.
Она меня разбудила в 3 часа ночи, по-моему, потому что она начинала выезжать уже. Мы были с ней на связи все это время, то есть каждый ее шаг, каждая минута. У меня огромная длинная переписка была вот всего этого процесса.
My brother and brother-in-law, they were carrying my suitcase, and I had to walk quick. I lost them. The place was really crowded. I don't know how many gates the airport has, but I had this specific gate that the Ukrainian force told me, once you reach behind the gate, just text me, I'm gonna come out and get you. I was like, okay. I passed the first checkpoint, and the Taliban who were like controlling people, he swore if I would be going back and he would see me, he would kill me. So he swore in front of public. The second checkpoint, so one of the Taliban commanders trying to, he ordered people to sit down, and because it was so crowded, and I was literally pushing people to get aside so that I could go forward, I did not know that commander is having a lash with him. The moment that I pushed the women aside, he ripped the women in behind me, and his shoulders skin was gone. The flash was visible. I received this text message from the Ukrainian army force saying that come to this gate, not to the gate where we told you earlier. And I had only 30 minutes.
Наверное, на тот момент я поступила немного цинично, я не стала ее успокаивать, я сказала, у тебя есть 30 минут, самолет будет улетать. Все. Вот либо ты успеешь, либо нет. То есть ее это в какой-то момент подогрело очень сильно, она понимала, что это ее последний шанс. Хотя самолет еще должен был стоять около 6 часов.
So I started asking people, is there any way to get out of this place? Because I was pushing and I was trying to get to the gate. One of the Taliban members started firing next to my ears, and I could see the bullets falling next to women. And I saw the woman's arm, do we say disjoint from her body? She could not pick her arm because it was stabbed by so many people. The moment we decided to go back home, the Ukrainian army force called me. He only said 2 sentences. Fatema, I bribed this Taliban to come out to take you. Where are you? That's it. That's it. He ended the call. I wanted to say I'm leaving. He ended the call.
We kind of set up a command center at a hotel in Washington, D.C., as well as at our own houses, because this was 24/7 work. It was an emotional roller coaster of hey, yes, we're almost there, but then at the last minute something would block us. And then everyone else with the USA Today team is on the edge of their seat too. So it was extremely stressful, but at the same time, I mean, her courage in this endeavor was very inspiring. I mean, she didn't give up.
And I received phone calls from a stranger. I was like, I'm here. He said, raise your hand so that I can find you. He found me and I was like, you're not the Taliban. I mean, the Taliban could be easily identified. He said, not really. I am a Ukrainian. I'm an Afghan Ukrainian. I'm here to get to the airport and this person called me saying that to have you with us. So he took me to a place where 50 Ukrainians were standing and waiting to get to the airport. I stood up and I shouted the name of that Ukrainian force. And he was right in front of me, but because I did not have his picture, I did not know who he is, right? And he said, Fatema. I was like, yeah, it's me, come. And then he sent another force to pick me and then take me to the other side. So it was a very huge plane. It was a military plane, and it was my first time getting to the military plane. So there was no safety belt, there was nothing. The moment that I fall asleep, I literally did not wake up till the morning because I was so tired. When the plane left Kabul, when we were out of Kabul, I literally had a relief breath. I took my relief breath and I was like, I'm out.
Они прилетели, по-моему, через день в 5 утра в аэропорту Борисполь. Я ее встретила.
And I saw this girl coming to me. She said, hey, I'm Iryna. Like, I was so happy, but you know, the feeling of me, it was completely drained. I could not express my feelings. I knew that I am happy, I knew that I am safe, but I could not express it. So I was like, okay. She said, I'm Iryna. I was like, okay.
Я ее встретила и сразу забрала к себе домой. У меня даже не было вариантов, что кто-то ей должен найти жилье, кто-то должен о ней побеспокоиться. В Украине она знала одного человека, это была я. Фатема покушала, приняла душ и все. И она проспала практически до следующего дня. Мы ее вечером увидели совсем чуть-чуть, выпили с ней вместе чай, и она опять пошла спать, созвонилась с родителями.
The apartment had 2 rooms, and it was like one for her parents, one for her. But she gave me her room, and she herself was sleeping in the kitchen. So there was a sofa, and she was sleeping there. I met her mom. She's so beautiful, and it just gives you the feeling that you're at home.
Она ко мне подходит и говорит, I don't speak English. А она, нет вопросов, берет переводчик, сразу мне вот вслух вот говорит. Я также ей отвечаю через свой переводчик. Мы даже с ней кушать вместе готовили, борщ с ней варили.
Я очень хотела ей показать Киев. Конечно, Киев моя любовь. И в летний период это все зелено, в цветах. Самые лучшие места, вот чтобы ей Киев запомнился тем городом, в который она мечтает вернуться. Естественно, каждый день я видела ее переживания. Счастье не может быть полноценным, когда твои родные в беде. Опять-таки я обратилась к Кириллу Буданову и спросила, можем ли мы помочь вот этой девочке, которую мы уже забрали, эвакуировать ее семью. Он говорит, да. Хочешь помогать? Ты можешь это сделать лично. Процесс эвакуации, который мы организовали, он был немножко уникальный. Мы покинули территорию аэропорта, и мы забирали людей в городе. Вообще все военнослужащие, которые эвакуировали гражданское население из Афганистана, они ждали, когда люди зайдут на территорию аэропорта, потому что она была охраняема. За территорией аэропорта контроль был полностью под талибами. Я лично с поддержкой украинской армии выходила за пределы аэропорта, проверяла автобусы, проверяла людей, и мы эти автобусы завозили уже на территорию аэропорта, и там же были родители Фатимы.
I was receiving text messages from my brother that mom cannot breathe, Mobina cannot breathe, Mobina keeps crying, my mom is exhausted, and the only thing I could say is like, wait. wait, you're gonna make it, wait.
Когда мы уже подошли к самолету, мы всех рассадили, дали воду, еду. Подошел Фатимы брат, попытался мне на ломаном английском спросить: ты Ира? Я говорю: да, это я. Он за руку меня к родителям, они меня обнимают с малышкой на руках. Ну как не плакать?
I left Kyiv and came to the US for work and for my studies. Back then, I was sure that my parents were safe, right? It was before February 24.
Мною принято решение о проведении специальной военной операции.
Мне позвонила Фатима в слезах: Ира, что происходит? Это правда, что война в Украине? Я говорю: да. Да, это правда. И я до сих пор жду, что либо кто-то скажет, что это неправда, либо мы проснемся. Но не бывает так. Ну, не бывает так, чтобы... Ну как? Ну как? За что?
I woke up and I read the news that I think the war already happened and the Russians started attacking. My mother, I think she sent my brother and my father to the grocery shop. There was just one grocery shop near her house, and once they got back home, my mom said that the war happened. I knew how was this situation, and I was trying to keep her calm because once she gets worried, I get worried, right? So I was like, I'm trying to find a way to book a cab, like for them to get out of Kyiv. My sister found a contact information of an American person. She is a retired Navy force in the US, and she had this entire team in Kyiv who were trying to evacuate people, taking them to western part of Ukraine. I texted her, and all she said was like, ask your parents to go to the railway, get a train, go to west part, and then there my team is taking care of them to get out of Ukraine. And it was like, the problem is I don't know how to take my parents to the railway because they are in the Russian side, and all the bridges, the ways going to that side is being destroyed, right? I have this Ukrainian friend, and I started texting him, take my parents to Lviv. He said that he could have taken his own parents to Lviv. I beg him. My parents do not know the language. No one is accepting to go to that home address to take them. He eventually accepted and then took them to the railway, and then from railway they're supposed to go to Lviv. So once they were in Lviv, this journalist friend of mine, she got a car and directly helped my parents to pass the border to Poland. There were many people involved. Without them, I don't know how my parents would make it to safety.
Для них это, конечно, ужас. Повторение такое, что они уже не знают, куда эвакуироваться, чтобы не было войны. Вообще вот все эти ситуации вот там с Афганистаном, с Украиной показали, насколько люди, не знающие друг друга, помогают друг другу, потому что беда.
Да, мальчик мой хороший мальчик.
Вы знаете, Господь воздал мне во 100 крат. Как бы я тогда немного помогла людям, и нашлись люди, которые помогли мне забрать моих родителей. Они жили в подвале, и когда уже мама заболела в подвале, простыла очень сильно, потому что февраль месяц, холодно, нам удалось организовать автомобиль для моих родителей, для того, чтобы их вывезти из Киева вместе с собакой. Они приехали на границу Польши и Украины, я их там встретила. Мне ничего уже не надо было в жизни. Вот в тот момент я поняла, что я могу выдохнуть спокойно. Я знала, что это будет первая ночь, когда я посплю наконец-то. Я была счастлива. Я знаю, что такое счастье.
Salam. My parents survived the horrible war of Taliban, right? They survived the horrible war of Russia and Ukraine. They were in a strange country with a language that they did not understand, but they survived it. War is something that is really ugly, and it takes lives of thousands and thousands of victims. War is like that. War is as ugly as that. People are losing their dearest members of families. So what I learned from war is to care so much for people, to love so much. You know them, you don't know them, it's fine. Because you don't know what's going to happen next. If I come back to the country, maybe I can dig more. The country was almost drowning in corruption. You could not talk about transparency anymore. I want to sit in one table with the Taliban to ask them these questions. Why are they so much afraid of us? What's our fault? Why they always have this goal and this wish of us to be dead? Why they want to torture us? So now, if it is journalism that can make me to sit in one table with them, I can go for journalism. I've already put so much of my concentrations and focus and efforts on surviving two wars, the ugliest ones, right? And I made it. So I'm sure I can do this one too. I have to make them sit in one table with me. If it's gonna take my entire life to do that, I'm ready for it. So.
Вот для меня она стала как сестра. С родственниками это безусловная любовь. Только за то, что они есть, ты их любишь. Вот для меня это человек Фатима, она для меня такой стала.
We both are stubborn. I know Iryna is stubborn, and so I am.
Finally. I know. One country, but we haven't seen each other. I have something for you. Yeah, thank you for flowers, by the way. I love flowers.
Sorry.
No, sorry, I love. You know, even one flower, I love that.